Hey everybody, we made it through. I almost said Friday, we made it through Monday. I was reading one of my books, getting settled for bed, and then I was starting to feel like, I'm in the mood for some ASMR. I was watching book people tapping and whispering about different books, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do that type of video because I always forget, but they're one of my favorite kinds of videos to do. So because I'm, getting ready for bed, well, winding down for bed, I like to do that with some tea. So the tea that I have tonight is lemon ginger by Bigelow. So I'm just going to open this up, and then I do have my dog is down here. Just thought I'd show you guys. And then I do have a kettle of hot tea. Oh, and I have my fireplace running too. It smells so good. Put the tea bag in here. And then, very carefully, there we have it. Wow. This is some hot tea. I wonder if it will cool down. That is very hot. I wonder if it will cool down enough for me to drink it during this video. I'm trying to figure out what lighting to do. Jeez. Ooh, that is hot. Okay, I'm gonna need to let that sit there for a second. Okay, so while that is cooling down, I wanted to start with the book on top. I finally caved and started reading the viral series, the Court of Thorn and Roses series. When I really love a book, I will read it quickly. If I'm not totally engrossed in a book, I will not read it quickly. I will take my sweet time. Hashtag ADHD. But my point is, with this book, I read it in a week, and it is 416 pages. So those of you who haven't heard of this series, so first let me show you the cover. So it's some type of creature. Kind of looks like a mix of a lion and a wolf, right? And a court of thorns and roses. I was like, I don't know what that means. Well, on the first page of the book, she has a map of Zobridian, the fairy realms. And then, as you can see, there are all these different courts. So each book takes, I believe, I've started on the second this one, A Court of Thorns and Roses, takes place in the Spring Court. So I've picked up on the fact that each title is a court of blank and blank. So this one is A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is the Spring Court. And then the second book is A Court of Mist and Fury. And I believe that one applies to the Night Court. So with each court, there is a different type of fairy associated. But that's besides the point, so let me just read the synopsis, not synopsis, whatever you call this in the back. Okay, so from New York Times, best-selling author Sarah J. Maas, I've saying that right, wrong, let me know, comes a seductive, breathtaking book that blends romance, adventure, and fairy lore into an unforgettable read. Okay, so when 19-year-old huntress Feyre kills a wolf in the woods, a terrifying creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land she knows about only from legends, Feyre discovers that her captor is not truly a beast, but one of the lethal, immortal fairies who once ruled her world. At least, he's not a beast all of the time. As she adapts to her new home, her feelings for the fairy Tamlin transform from icy hostility into a fiery passion that burns through every lie she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. Gosh, my hair is really bothering me. Beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. But something is not right with the fairylands. An ancient, wicked shadow is growing, and Feyre must find a way to stop it or doom Tamlin and his world forever. This book was very good. I've heard that the other books are better. The one thing that I do have to say, if you're thinking about reading this book, is that it does get very dark. It gets very dark. I personally, I feel like a lot of things I enjoy watching or reading do have a lot of dark undertones. I don't particularly love horror. I wouldn't say this is horror. It's just very dark. But the characters are unlike anything you've read. I mean, it's pretty cool. So, there's some stereotypical symbolism and I guess tropes, you could say, but yeah. Okay, so let's see about the tea. It is very hot still. I wonder, oh my goodness, why does it get so hot? I think the mug that I'm using is it's a stone mug, so it must hold heat. Okay, I'm trying to decide if that one looks better, or this is a very informal video, y'all. Okay, or if I think this one. It's a little too. Oh, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have my fireplace running. Okay. Now this is book number 2. And you thought the other one was long. This one is, the other one was, I believe, 48 chapters. This is 69 chapters. 624 pages. And this is the cover. Looks like it's a hawk. I just started. I literally just finished the first book last night. So this book I just started, and this is my bookmark, is this little cat. So, and it's a book light too, because I really don't like the big lights in my apartment. They're really fluorescent. I need to change them. So anyways, so I'll use it like this, or sometimes I'll just kind of put it in my shirt and like use it for light. Yeah, I make things a lot more difficult than they need to be, but I just love this bookmark. I think it's so cute and very functional. I was doing it the right way. And it's really bendy too. Alright, so let's and this one YouTuber, she reads like so many books and reviews them. She was talking about how she was these books are so big, and like how when you read them, it doesn't have a broken spine, so it's a lot, and how you don't want to break the spine because they're just so pretty. Like the covers, yeah, I don't know, I love these types of books, like where it's paperback, but I don't know, but it's like a sturdier, more matte, but also textured cover. I don't know if that makes sense. Ooh, yeah, that is. Oh, I'm able to drink that. Okay, so let's read about this book. Feyre has undergone more trials than one woman can carry in her heart, though she's now been granted the powers and lifespan of the High Fae. She is haunted by her time under the mountain and the terrible deeds she performed to save the lives of Tamlin and his people. As her marriage to Tamlin approaches, Feyre's hollowness and nightmares consume her. She finds herself split into two different people. One who upholds her bargain with Rysand, High Lord of the feared Night Court, and one who lives out her life in the Spring Court with Tamlin. While Feyre navigates a dark web of politics, passion, and dazzling power, a greater evil looms. She might just be the key to stopping it, but only if she can harness her harrowing gifts, heal her fractured soul, and decide how she wishes to shape her future, and the future of a world in turmoil. I've heard that this book is like better than the first, and that they just continually get better. So I'm hoping I can read this one in 2 weeks or less. Okay, so we got those two books. Something else I have are these chocolate biscuits. Petits écoliers, I think that's how you say it. I'm going to have one, but they're literally these French biscuit cookies that have like a piece of chocolate on them. This one's a little stale, but it tastes amazing, so that's probably good for you people that don't like crunching sounds. very sensitive stomach, so that's always good. Okay. The next book I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you a copy of a hardcover book I have. So this one is definitely different. This is more of a this is more realism. I mean, yeah, so it takes place in Alaska, like in the middle of nowhere, Alaska in the winter, and this is in 1974. It's good. It's also very dark at times. Okay. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Alaska, 1974. Unpredictable, unforgiving, untamed. For a family in crisis, the ultimate test of survival. Ernst Albright, a former POW, comes home from the Vietnam War, a changed and volatile man. When he loses yet another job, he makes an impulsive decision. He will move his family north to Alaska, where they will live off the grid in America's last true frontier. 13-year-old Lenny, a girl coming of age in a tumultuous time, caught in the riptide of her parents' passionate, stormy relationship, dares to hope that a new land will lead to a better future for her family. She is desperate for a place to belong. Her mother, Cora, will do anything and go anywhere for the man she loves, even if it means following him into the unknown. At first, Alaska seems to be the answer to their prayers. In a wild, remote corner of the state, they find a fiercely independent community of strong men and even stronger women. The long sunlit days and the generosity of the locals make up for the Albrights' lack of preparation and dwindling resources. Let's get a sip of tea. That's so good. Okay. But as winter approaches and darkness descends on Alaska, Ernst's fragile mental state deteriorates and the family begins to fracture. Soon the perils outside pale in comparison to threats from within. In their small cabin, covered in snow, blanketed in 18 hours of night, Lenny and her mother learn the terrible truth. They are on their own. In the wild, there is no one to save them but themselves. In this unforgettable portrait of human frailty and resilience, Kristen Hanna reveals the indomitable character of the modern American pioneer in the spirit of a vanishing Alaska, a place of incomparable beauty and danger. The Great Alone is a daring, beautiful, stay-up-all-night story about love and loss, the fight for survival, and the wildness that lives in both man and nature. So there's a lot of thematic elements in this book. I found it, I wouldn't say it's an easy read, as in, like, you know, it's not hard to follow, but I personally was not able to read, like, huge chunks of it at a time, just because there's a lot of, like, emotional things going on, lots of stuff about mental health, so if you do, you know, struggle with that, or that's triggering, I would probably say no to this book, but I find that the language used to describe and the metaphors just to describe the new where she's living and the people and the environment, I mean, it's very, very well written. So yeah, I have to admit, I have not finished it. So, yeah. Okay, let's see, we'll do okay, of age in LA in the late 60s, sneaking into clubs on Sunset Strip, sleeping with rock stars, and dreaming of singing at Whiskey A Go Go. Fun fact, I grew up near LA, and a lot of my friends were singers or musicians, and my friend and her band, they performed at Whiskey A Go Go. Anyways, her voice is getting noticed, and she has the kind of heedless beauty that makes people do crazy things. Oh. Also getting noticed is The Six, a band led by the brooding Billy Dunn. On the eve of their first tour, his girlfriend Camilla finds out she's pregnant, and with the pressure of impending fatherhood and fame, Billy goes a little wild on the road. Daisy and Billy cross paths when a producer realizes that the key to supercharged success is to put the two together. What happens next will become the stuff of legend. The making of that legend is chronicled in this riveting novel, written as if it were the oral history of one of the biggest bands of the 70s. In Daisy Jones and the Six, Taylor Jenkins Reid brilliantly captures an unforgettable place and time in an utterly distinctive voice. And you guys may know this, but this is actually a book. I mean, it was adapted into a TV show on Amazon Prime. My goodness, I'm having a hard time talking. I think it's a little late. And this tea is not caffeinated. Okay, everyone. Well, on that note, I'm going to say goodnight.